Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd take another look at the workshop and see what was out there, and a lot of very cool and interesting creations, I gotta say. So I got everything spawned into Reforged Eden this time. There was one ship that I was debating whether it is vanilla, but it actually has RE in the name of it, so I got it here as well. Kind of makes sense. So the very first creation, this is something I didn't know was possible, and I don't really know how the author discovered this in the first place, but it's pretty darn interesting. This is the textured growing plots by Garaman, and it is pretty wild. So if you're familiar with the grow plots in the game, you realize, especially in you really can't texture them. And here we see a whole bunch of grow plots textured with literally like just about every texture in the game. And this is pretty amazing. So as in the sign here, I read the sign and did a little test right before the video here to see how this works out. And it's very, very easy too. So basically, you here, let me get the HUD on. And I got a stack of grow plots on me right now. And according to this, you go up to the grow plot you want your grow plots to look like. So if you're gonna, I don't believe this works in survival. This is a creative mode only thing. But if you pick your texture that you want for your stack of grow plots, you can go up to one of these, and then you hit Control and the right mouse button when you look at them. So you have to have your grow plots selected. So I got a stack here of the 998 grow plots, and let's say we want them to be how about with a texture light on them? Never seen grow plots with a texture light on it before. So I'll hold down Control and then right mouse click, and wait a minute. Okay, I think it worked already. Let me place one of these down, and voila, we've got that this whole stack of grow plots is now going to be textured like that. So essentially, in creative mode, using this particular creation nearby, you can select any texture you want for your grow plots, and then use that for your build. So like I just picked a different one here, so. And now we've got that texture on it, which is it's pretty cool. So you could blend these in better. I mean, often, at least with me building and things like that, often the grow plots, I might have them as part of the ceiling or something, and then of course you can't match the textures to the rest of the ceiling, causes some more issues. It basically says too that this might be a bug or something like that. We don't really know for sure, but this does work. And I literally have no idea how the author discovered this, but it is pretty wild. I didn't know this was even close to possible, but really easy to do too with this creation out there. Like I just grabbed a different one here, and we'll place that, and now we've got the grow plots with this particular like stone texture on it. So literally, it can work with any of the textures, and that'll be kind of neat if you're building something. And putting it at least in creative mode. But I don't believe, again, I don't think this works in survival, but I don't know that for a fact either. So anyway, really interesting creation. I love the way the author laid everything out. Very easy to follow and very easy to do. And that's the game actually has quite a lot of different textures in it. It would be really nice someday if we could just kind of texture whatever we want with whatever texture we want. Including grow plots. I think that would be a really neat feature. Allow all us authors and things like that to, just a little more flexibility, quite a bit more flexibility, especially with the textures. That's kind of a problematic thing that's been ongoing for a long time with different kinds of blocks and like container extensions and wood blocks and concrete blocks and carbon blocks, and they all have different sets of textures on them, and it's and you can't use the biggest side effect, like if you're building a base or something, not a big deal really, because you can use these different materials with a base like stone and wood and things like that. But when you try to build anything that flies or moves, a CV, SV, HV, you can't use wood or stone. So literally you have no access whatsoever to those other textures, which is kind of off-putting, especially if you're trying to come up with some different kinds of themes and stuff for faction, you can't carry it across. You can build a base with those textures, but you can't build anything that moves with those textures. So it kind of throws things off a little bit. But again, yeah, very, very cool creation. I'm not going to look at the stats on this. It's not that kind of creation. But yeah, a nice utility thing to have around. I may try to utilize this in future builds too. However, for the most part, I've been leaving grow plots out of creation stock, simply because you got to build the grow plots manually for that creation before you can spawn the creation in. And I believe most people kind of like them left out, and they can add them in at their leisure, and then you don't need to build a bunch of grow plots before you can spawn in a creation. I think that's pretty practical too, but I do like this. I do like this method. Very, very cool. Again, this is the textured grow plots by Garaman. Very, very cool. So the next creation here, this is the Aerial T4 by MAC. Very cool looking CV here. Reforged Eden CV again. Get the HUD back off. Just wanted to take a good look at this, see what's going on here. I would say by the early looks of it here that this is probably a combat-oriented CV. Kind of seeing some neat-looking locations here. I like some of the design work around the area here. It almost looks like there should be maybe that's a thruster mount position, like where you can add in some more thrusters or something. Kind of looks like a big XL thruster, angled thruster is supposed to go right there. And something else with this ship too. One is airborne. All these ramp doors around this hangar area do close up, so it's using the landing gear as essentially a sensor, and then it opens up these doors once you land on the ground like that. So just something to know here. So it looks like we've got definitely see it another upgrade location for thrusters as well. Oh yeah, this is a Reforged Eden specific block here. This is one I have yet to use, and that looks really cool, I think. I like how the grates are over there, but obviously some upgradability here already with the thrusters, and it looks like another chunk back here possibly could be an area for another thruster. And then we got a big XL in the middle back, on the sides. Got some lift thrusters over here. This looks really cool. I like the design work on this. And then we also have, it looks like on the bottom side, a whole lot of solar panels kind of embedded into the hull as well, which is going to be nice for power, or save you some power, especially in like an idle position. And yeah, it's neat. I like it. It's really cool. These angled doors that open up here. One thing I will note on, there's been obviously a when I get close to it here, it opens up. No, it closes. Interesting. On these here, let's see if I can. Well, anyway, I was going to talk about the new texture here for the force fields, and I do think it's kind of cool that they kind of create like border lines around the edges. In my personal opinion, I think they're not bad. They're a little hard to see through in different kinds of lighting environments, especially in a POI. Things like that. I kind of wish they were faded more. Like there's a alpha transparency level, and if it was increased probably a good 50-60%, where you could kind of see there's a force field there, but it's not quite as bold, I think would be optimal. But yeah, having this line on the edges around things does look kind of neat. I believe it's using actually a shader to accomplish that, something that I don't recall really seeing done in this game previously much. So yeah, pretty cool on that as well. And this is a neat ship. It looks pretty practical. Again, it looks like it's combat oriented, but maybe not entirely. I'm starting to think that it might suffice for a lot of different types of roles in the game here. Combat definitely included. And I do believe the author left out a lot of stuff here too. Potential weapon mount and things like that. Like this looks like it would be another turret mount over here, and there's quite a few, and I'm sure it's all to balance the CPU and the tiered turrets that come out over here and on top. So yeah, it looks like definitely can put a lot more weaponry on here, and it's kind of made for it. But anyway, let's take a look on the inside here. So I'm going to go, I guess, right into this hangar section to start with. And I'm going to try to dim the lights a little bit here, see how things work out. Don't want to go too dark though, so let's try to find a medium level here. Yeah, nice looking hangar. I like the block work around here, the separation between the whites and the blacks in here, or just kind of the dividing seam lines. It's always a neat look. And then it's kind of mixed in with some texture lights here. We got some more of a cyan type of texture light and some white texture lights, depending on in various places. Cool looking setup here, though. I like all the displays for the cargo boxes and the utility stuff. Kind of looks like author even left out the med bay. That looks like it would go right next to that. Probably what the M stands for there. And this is pretty cool too. I like this the setup over here. You can see the pentaxa tank up through the glass there. Looks like we've got a front entry ramp going down to the ground as well, right in that section. Got O2 over here and another placeholder for a med bay. And then out the front here, oh wow, we got a pilot seat out on the very front here too. Interesting. And we got a bunch of spotlights in the area. That's cool. I was kind of wondering if it had any drills or something there, but no, it looks like, I mean, if you fly the ship from an angle like this, probably feel like the ship's pretty not that big, but the viewing, your view is going to be probably better. I mean, you'll be able to see more from that vantage point. However, if you're in a combat situation, I do believe this ship has another bridge up top. I think we could see that right from the outside. So coming into this area, this looks really neat. Let me try to adjust the lighting one more time. See how this comes out. Or it's just gonna be just kind of dark right now. Okay, so sorry about that. We'll just try to dial it in to get it to look really cool here. But yeah, it's coming into this room. First thing I notice, obviously, is this hallway looks really cool. By the way, nice texture and nice block work. Again, the separation between the lights and the darks, or the blacks and the whites in this case. That looks really neat. A lot of neat looking blocks used to create this. A lot of detail in the hallway. So over here, it looks like we've got locations to add some quantum cores, and I can definitely feel a ship like this would want that kind of thing. Over here, this actually looks like it would be an upgrade slot here too. So we're 3x4, and it looks like it comes out like 4 blocks this way. I think this, God, can that hold a large shield part? Or maybe it's set for, you know what, I bet you this is set for 2 medium-sized shield parts facing into the wall like that. That would make a lot of sense, actually. So we got that on the side. Yeah, here's an example of that right there. So it looks like the author just, obviously, to balance the CPU, left a lot of these parts out. But yeah, that is for some medium shield parts there. Auxiliary core area on the back side over here. So yeah, nice setup here. And then we got our main CPU blocks in that area. So yeah, nice organization. We have big generators up in there too. And our main CPU core, more CPU blocks behind the glass. So yeah, nice layout, nice display of all the equipment and upgrade slots and things like that in the area. And what do we got over here? Oh, look at, oh, now we got the big pieces over here. Yeah, so we got a fusion reactor room over here. So this would be a 5x5x5 area here. Kind of looks like we have some upgrade slots over here for T2. So I'm not sure yet. I wonder. I'll see if there's an LCD or something saying what the T2 means. I mean, you can fit a lot of stuff in here. You can put in small shield parts. You could put in fuel tanks, O2 tanks, a bunch of different stuff would fit in that slot size. And we probably got the same over here. So obviously it's built up for 2 fusion reactors. So that's definitely putting it in the high-end shield category. Yeah, and I kind of expected this too. So here is a large shield part room. So this would be 5x5x4 blocks across. Yeah, very cool. So a couple, yeah, another one on that side. Wow, yeah. So this thing's really set up for a lot of shield parts. So we have our back entry as well. That's cool. Alright, so let's get back in here and let's go up this elevator right here to the second floor. Just make sure it only goes one way, and this I believe is going to get us up into the bridge area, and it does. So there's our pilot seat for our rear bridge, and then it looks like we've got locations for some constructors or deconstructors, and over here, so kind of a production area. We've got our medical bay, specialized equipment in this journal area here. Just looking for that fourth piece. Oh, right over on the other side here. Nice. And over here, it looks like we got a place for fridge, food processor, place to chill out. I do have one constructor installed in there. Got some storage controllers integrated in with that, which is also really cool. And is this where? No, this is a different area. This is a different elevator, isn't it? Oh, look at this. There's another bridge. There's like another pilot seat down here overlooking the hangar. Oh, you got some options if you're going to fly the ship around. That is definitely pretty cool. And this gets us right back down to that other room there. So I believe that is the full interior of the ship. Now I went down up in the front too. It's probably hardened with more blocks and things like that in there. Let me take a flyby over here, see what's going on behind here. Oh, look at that. We've got a number of, looks like launcher positions. So you'd have to remove the glass here. Then you could stick in some launchers in these areas here. Oh, that's yeah, that's sneaky. So it's set up for, or maybe not launchers. Maybe that's what this seat's for. You could stick in some mining drills here, and that would make a lot of sense too, because this would give you a centered, nice view in between the mining drills, which would be really nice for literally first-person mining with this ship. So that could be the case. Or, of course, you could add in launchers if you wanted to, too. It's once you get the ship, you can do anything you want with it, really, which is really great thing about this game. Customize anything you want. And obviously a lot of it, like there's a real launcher in here, but a couple placeholders on the side, again, to keep that CPU down. Looks like a artillery turret position over here on the top side as well, being a 5x5 like that, and several other turret positions again. What's under here? Oh, a double door. Oh, so a quick entry right into the bridge area from the top of the ship as well. Nice, nice. Yeah, no, it really looks like it's laid out for gameplay use. Well, anyway, let's take a look at some numbers here, see what's going on. So, yeah, the author tailored the CPU to meet Core 9 specifications right to a T, like this, used as much CPU as possible. That's why all those parts are missing and things like that, too. You pretty much have to do it unless you want this thing to require a ton of auxiliary or quantum cores and things like that. So, yeah, CPU's looking good. As in our stats here, we're doing 34 forward, 22 strafing, 44 lift, 22 reverse, 12 down. Size class 5, 17 fuel tanks, 6 oxygen tanks, 20 hour and 54 minute build time. It of course is going to use some estrium and zirconium because of the weaponry and some of the stuff on the ship, but it's nice Core 9 specification ship here. And it does come equipped with a decent amount of weaponry, including a long-range radar in there too, a couple of EMP cruise missiles as well, Sentinel flag, so definitely using RE weaponry on here. And it's got a lot of, again, a lot of places to put more turrets, more everything pretty much. It doesn't look like this ship is interested in farming. I just want to make sure that, yeah, there's I'm not seeing any farming blocks in here. So it's not a farming ship at all. It is a combat carrier that also can utilize solar energy, which is a really cool feature as well. Storage-wise, yeah, okay, just want to make sure I'm looking at the right stuff here. So we've got, looks like a one controller here with 640K. We got another one with 640K. I like how everything's labeled here nicely. Gasoline, 640K, so 3 of those, 2 320K ammo bays, and then more storage. So another 3 640s, another 320 in the mix. So quite a lot of storage. Yeah. So it's good for that too. So and some other miscellaneous boxes in there. Deconstructor 640K. Yeah, very very cool there as well. Yeah, very very cool ship. Again, this is the Ariel T4 by Mac. Neat looking ship. I like this whole design here with this side entry hangar. These bay doors are really quite large too, so I don't believe you'll have any issues getting any kind of creation in there. It's a little narrow, so you couldn't have a real tall creation coming in through these ramp doors here. But of course, you've got this big section on the top there to fly creations in as well. Very nice. All right, so the next creation here, this is the Solaris by Hectic, and yeah, this looks pretty cool. Kind of at first too, I spawned it in. I was like, oh yeah, I really like how these kind of thruster housings are kind of off to the sides here, kind of a arm type of thing. It looks like there's some launcher resistance right in the mix. Cool looking bridge on here. I like the color scheme as well. Kind of going with blues, blacks, and whites in the mix, and some gray. Yeah, it looks good though. It's a lot of detail in there. You can definitely tell the author textured everything and kind of looked at every area and tried to make it as pretty as possible. And just kind of a lot of different textures in there. Some blue texture lights as well to kind of go with the whole theme of it. Looks like we got a hanger off the back. Potentially a long-range radar right there. Probably. Oh, maybe not. Maybe this one's just a good old radar dish. The Deco version or a placeholder for an actual long-range radar. They do cost CPU too, so if this again is tailored to be a specific CPU, then yeah, stuff like that you might leave off the ship to just balance that CPU out. Looks like we've got some other additional launcher positions here behind the glass. Just remove the glass and pop in your weaponry. Some sentry guns on the hull as well. Using some no, these are just large thrusters. They're not XL thrusters there. Yeah, that's cool. Cool, interesting configuration on the ship. And again, a lot of detail going on throughout. I definitely like to see it when builds and things like that have like separated thruster units. It doesn't work with every build, but so, you know, when it is used, it typically can look pretty cool, and it keeps those thrusters away from the interior as well, which is helpful for the heat and stuff that they create. That separation there is definitely a nice thing. Let's take a look at the bottom side here too. Cool looking texture lights going on the bottom side. And it looks like we're going to have some more turret mount positions over here too. I believe that's what these decal markings are for. Looks like at least 3 of them on the bottom side there. Some more sentry guns off the back. Yeah, very cool. Again, nicely detailed. Cool looking block formation over here too. Definitely like that. All right. Well, anyway, let's get on board this ship. I guess we got different options for that. I guess I'll come in through the back right now. There's probably more access doors in here as well. But let me try to adjust the lighting here again. See how this works out. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Okay. So yeah, the hangar is definitely in theme. A lot to look at in here. Wow. Very detailed. Very detailed. So it looks like we've got a lot of moat or areas for stuff, little asymmetrical action going on here as well. So over here we got our gravity generator and then a generator over there. Looks like right into a constructor, full med bay with all the extra accessories around. Armor locker over in the corner. Looks like a place for armor repair. I'm guessing that would be angled out to fill in this spot right over here. Cool look at wall kind of built right on there too, using some yeah, curvy and yeah, a couple different blocks. That's neat. That's neat. Little pretty slick there. For here it looks like, if I'm just guessing, I would say this is for small shield parts that connect right in over here where the S's are. Potentially looks like you could get some more of those right here as well. Actually, probably, yeah, it does say that, doesn't it? Yeah, 3 more, so that would be 5 small shield part locations. Yeah, pretty easy to understand there. And then, yeah, well, this is kind of neat. Again, look at all the stuff going on here. We got a controller. You can see that this is a texture for container extensions and a controller in the middle there. A small constructor in this area. On this big, kind of wraps around the front area here. We got Wi-Fi up there. And nice view distance from the bridge. Got a detector mounted right up back over here. That's kind of cool. I like how that was done with the using that particular block with the detector on top of it, and the supporting deco console pieces as well. And back over here, it looks like we got kind of a I don't know, kitchen chill out area. We got a food processor, fridge, some seats, a nice big table over there going across. Yeah, and I think this ship is just pretty straightforward, kind of easy to get through. Well, let's go up another floor here, and it looks like we're getting into a engineering area, I would say. So we've got our CPU core room over here. By the looks of what I see in CPU, it doesn't look like it's going to break the bank. Certainly looks like it has additional locations to add more CPU to it. And more shield parts, of course, as well. So yeah, another 4 small shield pieces over in this general area. And then back in here, this is pretty interesting. Warp drive location. So that would go across the top there, kind of fill in this room. I'm sure these pieces here are kind of meant to. Am I flying through a wall here, or do we got another? Oh, yeah, it looks like we're, this isn't a problem with the build at all. This is a problem with one of the block shapes is, oh no, I was flying through the floor. Never mind. It's not missing it. I thought it was missing a surface texture here, or a surface face, but it's not. I was just flying in the floor there. My fault. Looks like a couple generator locations on the side here. So yeah, it looks like it's set up to definitely upgrade, add in some shield and some other parts in the mix. Pretty straightforward design. Easy to navigate on the inside. Everything's pretty self-explanatory. Cool little mechanism here with the ventilators. Kind of like that. They kind of look like pipe parts there, kind of going into them. So definitely it looks like it's been set up to be lower cost. Right off the gates with CPU usage and things like that. Let me just scour the rest of the ship here. Take a look around. See if I missed anything else here. Obviously some more, like a lot of these creations, you're going to see additional turret mount positions and things like that. Most of the time people got to take a lot of that stuff off to get these compliant. But it's nice to build them the way you want them and then take the parts out after the fact and balance your CPU. That way you can... they can go beyond the CPU that they come with and allow for in-game upgrading and things like that, which is always a definite nice thing. I mean, who doesn't want to upgrade their ships? So yeah, very, very cool. So here, let me get the lights back on. We'll take a look at some numbers here. So to start with, this is size class 2, unlock level 15. So a lower unlock level on this one. Could be more of a starter-oriented ship, actually, I'm starting to think here. So pretty fast, too. 123 forward, 42 strafing, 83 lift, 32 reverse, 63 down, 10 fuel tanks, 4 oxygen tanks, 6 hour, 53-minute build time. Does use a little bit of Astrium and Zachosium, but not a whole lot. And no farming in the ship as well. Yeah, definitely not too terribly expensive. Does come lightly armed, not too much in weapons on it though. I think a lot of that has to do with the CPU. Yeah, check out the CPU. So it is just running one basic and one improved CPU core in here, I believe. If I got that right. I think that's right. Don't quote me on that. I could be off on that. Yeah, it's sitting in there, so it's definitely not anywhere near a tier 4 Reforge Eden, which would actually be 2.1 million CPU. So quite inexpensive when it comes to that, and the CPU blocks and everything like that. So I'd definitely say this is more of a kind of targeted on getting it in the game cheap, more of in the starter range of creations. So, but yeah, really, really cool. Obviously, some more launcher positions up top there too. So again, this is the Solaris by Hectic. Very, very cool ship here. So the next one here, we've got the Trinio mobile base. And this is by author Dragonmead. So yeah, this looks really neat. This kind of like a yeah, a big flat top carrier design. Definitely like that. Certainly, yeah, it would remind me a little bit of like the Helios, something like that, but a little different here. It's obviously using a lot of solar panels into the build here. It looks like it's got a lot of potential turret mount positions all over the top as well. If you decide to put turrets here, other than that, you could also use that as a big flatbed like carrier design here, solar operated flatbed carrier design. Looks like it's using some pretty beefy XL thrusters, which is probably a good thing for a creation like this, as they could potentially be carrying an awful lot of weight with them if you park some like full-size CVs and whatnot on the top of it. So yeah, that is very cool. And we got a bridge right on the front. Looks like nice visibility going on there. Take a look at the bottom side here. Color scheme's cool again too. It's using kind of a more of a lighter blue and grays and blacks, and again some different texture lights in the mix in spots to just kind of juice that up a little bit, make it look pretty cool at night and things like that. Yeah, very cool. Just wanted to see if there's any more solar panels or anything on the bottom side. It looks like most of them are all directional on the top side, from what I can tell right now at least. And I would definitely say we've got some more turret mount positions in probably quite a few locations around the creation. And side hangar doors set up. And let's take a look at the back side one more time. Okay, so no back entry there. So it looks like yeah, I do like the side hangar setup too. That's a nice touch there. But yeah, keeping it really flat. A lot of docking space. Could park some pretty big creations on this, and I'm sure that was what it was meant for. Or you could really it kind of looks like you could just slam in a whole ton of turrets too, and kind of use it as a combat-oriented thing to fire kind of off in this general direction, depending on how you want to use a ship. Well, anyway, yeah, very cool. Very cool. Like the design here. Neat looking block work, by the way, too, with a lot of this stuff, too. The roundy edges and the different block work, where the thruster is, and the color differences and things like that. Just adds a lot of detail to it. Anyway, let's get on board here. Let me adjust the lighting again a little bit. See how this comes out. It depends on the build. Some builds kind of set up, you know, they might have a lot more lights inside than other builds. Not necessary. They don't make your ship work better or anything like that. So, but yeah, look at this big old hangar. As soon as you get in here, and you can kind of see a lot of the solar panels up in the roof as well. So they're kind of doubling as the ceiling. Or actually, no, that's a different layer, isn't it? Oh, it is a different layer. So they're not the same ones we're seeing on the top of the ship. There's like 2 layers of solar panels in here. So quite a lot of solar panels on the ship, definitely. And let's see what we got over here. Looks like we've got a controller back over there. A couple more controllers over here, or storage controllers, I should say. That looks dangerous. And we got some more over here. Geez, quite 3 more on that side. Yeah, a lot of docking space in the hangar. I mean, a lot of room to maneuver. Looks like we've got a ground access in here as well. Come right up in the hangar on foot from below. And let's see what's in this this area that looks dangerous. Ah, the engineering. Of course, it's dangerous. So we've got our main core. Looks like some of our CPU core blocks in this area. A couple are left out over here. So it looks like if I were to guess, a couple more advanced CPU cores or improved CPU cores go in this general area here. We got our warp drive, our shield, generator. Oh, that's a cool looking glassed off housing for it. Interesting glasswork there. Oh, look at that. Integrated door into the glasswork, kind of. And the glass is used to stop like chain reactions. Like if this generator gets popped, it won't necessarily explode and take out the rest of the engineering area. These heavy glass actually do have a pretty good amount of hit points in them. And it got some interesting looking stuff going on over here. At first glimpse, I kind of wonder if some of these are a bit of a placeholder, and you could put in small shield parts there. It looks like they would fit in perfectly well in those locations. Oh, we've got some side doors off the side here too. So looks like we've got thruster access room, Wi-Fi back over here. Obviously, there's a part that goes in here, or a generator, maybe a 1x3 generator that lays right across here. Maybe a couple of them. You could get another one on top of that as well. At first, I wasn't sure if it was set up for thrusters. Kind of looks like it would have thruster access to, or obviously, if you're upgrading the ship, you can kind of make it do whatever you want to in those locations. So we've been in here already. Yeah, cool looking warp drive setup too. Again, kind of glassed off in there. Pentax tank right in the mix. And one generator is left out on this side. Again, probably try to keep the cost down. So let's go through the hangar towards the front side. Got another entry door from the bottom right there. Oh, wow, look at this. Quite the utility room going on here. So, yeah, as soon as you walk in, it kind of looks like we have locations for grow plots. So I would say, what is that, 36 grow plots? Teleporter right over here. Nicely set up on a sensor. Looks like a full medical bay in this section. Deconstructor, constructor, a couple of small constructors. Armor repair, armor locker. Regular advanced constructor. Yeah, this is your production and farming area. Got a detector up there and our bridge. Yeah, really straightforward, easy to navigate through the ship here. Something I'm missing though. Okay. Way up to the flight deck. Definitely got to have that too to access all the whatever you got parked up there. Yeah, it looks like a very functional ship, and includes farming and production, moving everything around. Yeah, nice design. Yeah, very cool. So let's take a look at some numbers here. So we'll start with only size class 4. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger than that, but not too bad. Pretty efficient with that. So 101 forward, 101 strafing, 56 lift, 101 reverse, 56 down. 13-hour and 33-minute build time. That's unlock level 25. 4 fuel tanks, 8 oxygen tanks. CPU-wise, it's not going all the way to a Core 9, so it's a little bit over on the 16 million CPU that it's set at, but not by much. I don't think that would impact anything. And obviously, you can upgrade it with a couple more cores, bring it up to 2.1 million CPU, and that's even without getting into any quantum or auxiliary cores in the mix here. Storage-wise, yeah, that would be this guy here. Yep. So, nicely set up storage controllers. So it looks like we're utilizing 3640K bays, couple 320s for harvest, 320 production, 320 supply, and 320 ammo. So yeah, nicely set up over here as well. Quite a bit of storage as well on the creation. And yeah, very cool. It looks practical. Looks really practical for gameplay use. Especially, if you've got your other CVs for miscellaneous functions, maybe combat, maybe, whatever. This can kind of take them around with you through the galaxy, so you got all your stuff with you. And not to mention a huge hangar, too. So you could park a lot of HVs, SVs, or smaller CVs in that general area. So, yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. Again, this is the Trinio mobile base by Dragon Mead. Very cool. So I've got something else spawned in the general area here we're going to take a look at next. This is the PlanetSide artifact base by Corrupt NZ. And really cool architecture on this one. There is a POI I've seen in the game that has kind of a similar design. This is, of course, completely different than that, but kind of that reverse pyramid with legs on the bottom side. I think this looks really cool, though. I really love the block work going on in this. And it does have some interesting, like the blue accent colors in the mix, and you can also see some yellow in the mix as well. Or gold. Very cool. Definitely like that. And wow, yeah, just really, really interesting too. I was kind of taking a look at the structure here and how this is set up. It looks like it would be structurally sound too with all this. There's certain distances with structural integrity on where you can go out and whatnot, and I think this is compliant to everything. And an interesting setup right here. Looks like we got a central elevator here, and there's force fields around it. So the force fields actually count as blocks too. So even though this looks completely open, this is structurally supported the way the game sees it with the force fields. So yeah, it looks like it's nicely structurally sound considering its exotic design here, which is, again, really cool. You don't see too many designs looking like this with this kind of block work. But yeah, it's really neat, really neat. Take a look at the top side here. I like that going on in there too. Very cool, very cool. That embedded block work, color separation at an angle, making a formation. Yeah, that's neat. Nice artistic touch there. And yeah, all this glass comes up on the top side there. That looks really cool. Like that, the armored glass kind of going up on all four sides there. You can also see through, of course, and hence being glass. Who would have thought? So, yeah, very, very cool. So right now, also too, just to let you know, it does actually sink down further. Now I spawned it in the water because I had everything spawned in the water, but this would kind of actually go below ground, and then you would, when you're spawning this in the game, you just want to make sure that all of these big arms coming down are touching the ground. Otherwise, you could have structural integrity, or you probably would have structural integrity problems. So I would, how I got it spawned, but I'm in creative and I don't have that stuff turned on right now, so it won't collapse or anything on me here. But in game, yeah, definitely want all those areas touching the ground. So anyway, let's get in this, and this is an interesting setup here too. So I guess you would kind of come in right through here, kind of go up this elevator area, and then we're gonna have some different floors in here. Oh, this is a really interesting look. So we got some piping, we got some CPU blocks. It's kind of different. It's a little bit of chaos in the mix here. I was kind of looking for like a bunch of uniformity, but it kind of looks like a kind of a wiring, I don't know, almost like Borg-like setup on the inside, which is really cool, kind of different than I was expecting, at least on this area. But interesting looking, like engineering area. Obviously some CPU blocks here, different things like that, generator, and piping kind of connecting all kinds of things to other things. Yeah, it definitely has a cool look there. Let me just try to adjust the lighting a little bit. Again, I always worry about this. The game can get really dark, especially PlanetSide, and some things can look good that way. It depends how much light you got in your creation and how powerful those lights are, basically. So yeah, so we're now coming up to this floor here. This is looks like the top area. We got our main core right on top there. That looks really interesting. And look at this formation of pipes going in there, almost like a propeller or something like that. Yeah, really interesting. Then we got a Wi-Fi right on top of the core. And then we got kind of a production room here. So yeah, deconstructor, advanced constructor, armor repair, O2 furnace over here. Oh, that's cool. And oh, that's interesting. I was looking at the staircase there, and at that I was like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, staircase texture." So it does go up another floor. I thought I was at the top floor, but I am mistaken. So yeah, a nice production room up here, and then up here it looks like our medical bay, and we got a food processor and some other miscellaneous pieces in here. Bed, plant. We even got a plant up here, so this would be kind of like the crew area slash get healed up. Food processor over here, and really cool looking ceiling going on in the room too. I like the triangle painting in here, and the just the color scheme. Very, very cool. And yeah, also a fridge there, of course, too. You got to have that with your chill out area up here, chill out and heal, and really cool views. So yeah, very, very interesting creation here. Unusual looking base, kind of, I don't know, kind of alien looking, but not entirely. Just really, really neat architecture going on here, and cool color scheme as well. So let's take a look at some numbers here. To start with, pretty low on the CPU usage here. So it's got enough cores to deal with 520,000 total CPU. It's only using 169,000 of that CPU. It is size class 3, got 16 fuel tanks, 20 oxygen tanks, 9 hour and 10 minute build time. Does use a little bit of estrium and zacosium, not a lot, just a little bit. Doesn't have any attack or defense on it, so it's not doing that. Now, it does have a shield, too, and that is something I seen when I spawned it. So you can see the shield strength is at 12,000 on this, and the shield is actually all the way on this lower area here, embedded in this room, kind of actually below water where I've got it right now. But that is where the shield is. Actually, yeah, it looks like you can. Oh, maybe not. I was kind of wondering if you could access it from up here, but it looks like it is just part of that base area there. Let's take a look at CPU. Let's look at your storage. So we've got a cargo box for ultra rare, a container controller at 110K, and then a couple freezers or fridges, Pentaxi tank. Yeah, so basically just 110K storage. Not a lot of storage on it, and whatnot. One thing I just want to look at again was the build time on this. Okay, yeah, I think I covered that, 9 hour and 10 minutes. So again, yeah, really cool design, really unique from the norm. And again, this is the PlanetSide artifact base by Corrupt NZ. Very cool. So the last creation of the day here. This is the Gundam Seed. I'm going to screw up this word. I know it. Kusanagi, or Kusanagire, and this is by author. Oh, I'm going to have a hard time with this one too. Blue Tingle L40K, or BLUTENGEL40K. So very cool. Author I believe I'm unfamiliar with. Did not I got kind of a file that I put all these in, and if there's a author that I've covered before, when I start typing their name, it'll like show that I've looked at a creation from that author before. Even most of the time I know anyway, but this was a unique author here. Pretty wild looking, large, heavily armed, combat oriented ship, or at least part of it. It might have some other functionality besides just combat, but yeah, it has certainly got a lot of combat action going on with it. Huge turret count on this. Man, this whole section here, man, I wouldn't want to mess with this. This is nuts. And we've got some, yeah, look at these guys over here. I just wanted to, let me get out my multi-tool and verify what we're looking at here. Positron beam cannons. So it looks like there's 12 of those on the front as well. And we'll look at the numbers. I don't even want to try to count how many turrets are on here. A lot. But this is a large ship, by the way. So this is just part of the front area, and then it kind of gets into the main body of the ship. It has this bridge up here. That looks really cool. I like how this is done. Kind of slanted up above, overlooking there. That's going over this whole front area. Looks like we do have some integrated solar panels as well into the ship. What in the heck is that? Hold on. Gotta figure out what I'm looking at here. MX4 rapid torpedo launchers. Wow. That's all. Is this okay? So is this 1 unit a piece? I'm thinking it is. I haven't seen this before. Don't mind me. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna remove. Okay, I just want to make sure that was one part there. Let me undo that. Okay, so that's I've never used these before, and that looks really neat. So a huge barrage of these torpedo launchers, kind of on the top side. Interesting. That would look neat firing, wouldn't it? So let's wow. Look at this section back over here too, as we're moving this way. There's some big man. This is, I mean, literally the size of a CV in itself, right on these thruster housings. That's some interesting block work going on there. It's kind of got into this shutter cap over the thruster embedded in there. Cool looking block work. I like the color separation going on here too, where this chunk is in blue, and then you got white, and then it's kind of broken up. It's into this yellow in the center section here. We got some connecting arms to these big thruster housing units. Again, like this, one of these over here could be like a CV in itself, literally. If you turn it like sideways, it almost kind of looks like it would be a CV. That's just cool, but it's just part of this really quite large ship here. Again, I like how this whole control tower area is done. It looks kind of like kind of a throwback to your the actual military ships and things like that. Wow, these are some pretty wild thruster housings. Do like that. That looks really neat on the inside here. The way the block work makes up or works around it. That's yeah, cool looking design there. I like this feature as well. Looking at the straight back of it, this kind of octagon in here. That's pretty cool. We got 4 smaller thrusters, well, large thrusters in that section. I guess they're the same size as the ones out on the outer ends as well. So it doesn't look like it's using XL thrusters, but just your 2x2x4 or large thrusters. Yeah, kind of neat on the bridge too. It kind of looks like these are actually some kind of like, I don't know, missile banks or something like that. That's cool. And maybe they could be, because you could probably dump some stuff in there. Some more launchers. Like you need more guns. Come on. Now, and the front side is obviously just meant to just move in and hurt things pretty badly, I would say. That's cool. And our reverse thrust obviously is in the center section over here. Oh, there's some interesting strafing thrust going on here too. They're kind of facing each other on the inside. There's a little block work there. Big old line over here. Looks pretty cool as well. And some more reverse thrust in this section here too. Wow. Well, where to start on this? Well, let's see. Let's go along the bottom side. I want to see. Obviously, we got a way in right through this area here. There's probably, again, more ways in and out of the ship. Let me get up in here. And it looks like we just got a little hangar right here. And that's interesting. So you kind of jetpack up to this elevator door, or this elevator entry, which gets you up into, holy smokes, I guess we're already in. So yeah, we've got some shielding going on here. Looks like quite a few, or if not a full pack of medium shield parts. I'm thinking that's actually the case here. So all 8 of them. Over here we've got small shield parts and our main shield. It looks like all 8 of them as well. There's a little way out the back over here. It gets into generator and fuel area, Wi-Fi as well. So quite a lot of big generators going on here. Looks like 6 of the advanced generators. A lot of fuel. Just take a look at what kind of blocks these are. Okay, we got Xeno blocks here. I was kind of curious about that. So Xeno, probably your for the weight. Well, they're technically the strongest block in the game. A little bit above that of combat steel, but quite a bit less weight. And this is a clear Xeno texture here too. So we're dealing with quite a lot of Xeno going on here as well, which is definitely something for a combat ship. Keeping your hull a little bit lighter, about the weight of hardened steel, but having the hit points of combat steel, basically. A little bit higher than combat steel, actually. Not by much, though. And then we've got this walkway, this big hallway coming down here. And a couple more elevators coming off the side of that. And that looks like it kind of gets us into a more of a hollow section of the ship. And we got a lot of other thrusters that I didn't see from the outside in here, too. Quite a lot of them. And now we got some big XL thrusters in here. And on the sides. A lot of Xeno again. So it's kind of, again, the whole front of the ship is all about combat. And it looks like we've got a huge, thick wall. This whole area here that I'm flying through is solid. Yeah. Wow. So this looks like it could certainly, I didn't even notice the whole barrage of missile launchers over there, rocket launchers. Yeah, but yeah, this is, I didn't realize there was this much room in here, but this is literally all solid. It kind of looked like there was, well, maybe not. I was kind of looking at seeing if it had some decoy parts in here. There's one area that looks like you could put a decoy, but it'd be kind of hard to get to. Unless in game it would be. I mean, in creative, not so much. But yeah, so huge, solid area. This area is just kind of about maintenance. Let's take the elevator. This is the hallway I first came in on. Let's go to the top, see where that goes. Just kind of the upper area, kind of similar to the other area. A lot of Xeno blocks in the build. Got some RCS units in here as well. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be quite expensive with CPU and going to need a lot of CPU blocks. You can tell just by looking at the total number of weapons on it. This is definitely one of your late game ships designed for some end game battles and things like that. So let's get up over here. So it looks like we get into kind of a production room, utility production room. So it looks like we have medical equipment, all our med stuff over there, a couple advanced constructors, a couple cargo boxes. Let's go up the next floor here. And then it kind of looks like we're getting out to the big bridge that we can see on the outside there. Got a lot of passenger seats. And our main bridge, which is really sitting far back from where most of the guns are, at least. So this is quite a safe area back where it is, despite having like a big open glass area. Yeah, I mean, this is such a long ship that all the action, if you're at least facing your target, is going to be happening out over here. And this looks like it would be quite devastating to most anything, probably, and could take a whole lot of hits back. In fact, I wouldn't really worry too much flying this ship around, especially even though you got a first-person cockpit back here. It is so far away from the action that I would say you'd be pretty darn safe there, unless, of course, you flew your bridge right near where it could get hit by the enemy ship. But that'd be a straight-up pilot error there. So. Yeah, really wild, really cool looking creation here. I like the overall shape and design of it. I have a feeling, again, it's going to be quite expensive. But let's take a look at the numbers here, see what's going on. So to start with, we are size class 11. 28 forward, 21 strafing, 14 lift, 13 reverse, 14 down, 31 fuel tanks, 18 oxygen tanks, 47 hour and 15 minute build time. The weapon count, pretty much insane. Pretty much insane. A lot of weapons. I don't even want to try to read all these, but it's got a lot of weapons. That is for sure. 49 RCS units in here as well. CPU wise, it looks like the author kind of set it up to for you to put in your own CPU blocks and try to balance the CPU out. At least with nothing in it, how it is right now with just a standard CPU core, it would need to deal with 20 million CPU on this. So yeah, definitely you want to get a lot of that in the ship. Your first Core 9 setup at 2.1 million, and then probably a lot of auxiliary and quantum cores and things like that. Maybe even some NPC crew, but that doesn't really do too much. So let's get to the next area here. So storage wise, see this here could be a big problem. It's got 2 ammo boxes, but I'm not seeing any storage or ammo controllers in it. Now each one of these ammo boxes can hold 14K of ammo, but literally the amount of guns on this, it would really need a lot more ammo storage. We're talking multiple 320K storage bays. Even if you try to put in some ammo for all the different weapon types on here, you'd literally get a couple shots off, I think, before you ran out of ammo, or a few shots maybe. But definitely would want, I mean, the amount of guns on this, I would probably look at this one as probably a minimum of 2, like 640K ammo bay. Well, you can't even do that. Probably like 4 320K ammo bays, almost at a minimum on this one to have the longevity of getting into a battle for a period of time. So yeah, definitely it definitely would want a lot more ammo. This isn't gonna keep it tied over very long at all. So that's something to consider. Obviously, a lot of places you could put in storage controllers in the ship, but at least stock, you definitely got to get that ammo count up. It's just not going to work out with this kind of gun, especially some of these guns like artilleries, turrets, and launchers. Their rounds are pretty big and pretty heavy in comparison to some other guns, but yeah, this has got hundreds of weapons on it, and yeah, more ammo definitely needed on it. I think it's really cool design, though. I like the whole idea here. I think the idea the author had with combat in this whole front section here, I think this would be quite effective, actually. Very effective. And the fact that it's such a long ship, and you can have a first-person view way back over here, but the combat's all taking place over here. It actually puts you in a pretty safe location to operate the ship as well. Really, the only side effect here is, yeah, it's going to need a lot more ammo storage than what it does have. Otherwise, yeah, you're just not going to be able to shoot much at all, despite all the guns on it. But again, very cool design. Love the shaping of it. The overall idea of the ship looks really cool. The color breakups are also very cool. So yeah, again, this is the Gundam Seed. I don't know, Korsangi. I tried to say it. I probably butchered it. I'm sorry. This is for Reforged Eden by Blue Tingel 40K. I'm sorry, I butchered names. Not the first time I butcher names, I'm sure every video. Some of these words I've just never seen in my life before, so I'm just kind of ad hocing, trying to figure out how to say them. And I'm sure I normally screw that up. But yeah, very cool ship. And that is all the creations for today. So quite a barrage of different CVs and a couple, a base in the mix, and this thing here by Garaman that I didn't know was possible, but Garaman does this kind of thing. He does a lot of experiments, and he's quite the authority on things. He's been very helpful with different questions and things, and things that he's put forward in the past, and real accurate as well. So definitely like that, and that's quite a lot of ingenuity going on here with this, and literally I didn't know it was possible in the first place. So it just adds to everybody's what we can pull off. And I gotta assume that if you build a ship in creative and you use these textured farm plots and you bring it in survival, I would imagine these textures would stay that way in survival. It's just I don't believe you could texture them that way in survival. It's like a I don't know, loophole or something like that in creative that I didn't know existed. I don't think anyone else knew existed until this came up here by Garaman, who figured it out somehow. But anyway, you all have yourself a great weekend, and I will talk to you later.